What do you need this for? I got that comment from some people. Also, I thought your New Year's resolution was not to buy anymore. Well, I didn't. So we'll find out more right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Rusty Oliver Man, and I dug around in my pile of leftover parts and stuff, and I did find a set of side curtains for this, but they're pretty rough. Somebody stored them vertically and they're missing pieces, but that's okay. We don't have to worry about that, because I might have a different plan for this tractor at some point. But this is a 77, and it came from Viewer Craig in Ohio. You saw me bring it home from Mama Bear's Homestead and More. He went out there to Ohio and got it because I was just swamped with stuff to do, and I never had a free moment, and it kind of had to get out of there. I see it's leaking a fluid of some kind. So Dirk was saying he wanted to look it up and see what year it was, and in that video I said I thought it was a 52 or 3, and if you look it up by the serial number, it is a 1953, I believe. Yes, it is. So 1953 77. Later revisions, disc brakes, of course. They had wider pedals when that happened. The serial number tag was moved under the dash, as well as other stories, you know, different things. The fuse box was moved up there on the later ones. Just little revisions they did to make it more better. This actually has the hydraulic unit with the little nubs and the external levers. And I'm not sure if that would be exactly the one that this would had from new, or if somebody added that later. I don't know when we switched to the top lever style, but it certainly seems plausible that this is the original style hydraulic unit for this era tractor. It's hard to say now because they've all been switched around and what have you. But at any rate, I learned yesterday on the adventure that it had its failure when Craig hooked it to a sled and he was pulling along happily, and it popped with its front end in the air, and then it would not move anymore. And upon inspecting, I don't know how well we'll see, but that input shaft, it ain't doing input shaft things anymore. So consequently, I see the sediment bowl's leaking. I poured some gas in it. Yesterday we were going to try it. We didn't have any battery in it, so I got myself a battery. I robbed out of the 66. Poor little feller. And we're going to try this out and see if she works. I see right away that our oil pressure gauge is no good, because it's always in the working range. So this thing is ready to go to work even when it's sitting in the shed. But let's fire it up and see what we got. Perhaps choke. It is below, it is, what is it, 37 degrees today? Oh ho ho, we got life. Oh yeah, listen to that. That runs good. Spoiler alert, I did have it running off camera yesterday, so I knew it was going to start today. But it pretty well started just like that. I had to put some gas in it because obviously it's leaking. So it's going to leak out what I put in it too. But if we look in here, nothing will be spinning. clutch housing. Eventually, when we get to actually doing something with this, we're going to have to adjust the idle speed, and also wide open I don't think is quite right. But it is in fact a runner, and that's part of the battle. And it does have decent tires all the way around. So I think our first plan of attack should be to get it off the trailer. And then I also kind of feel like maybe our first plan of attack should be to fix this abortion of wheel stuff that I did to it yesterday, trying to get it narrowed up to go on the trailer. I don't like the setup I got going here. And what I'm thinking is, well, first of all, I'm going to take the wheel weights off. I don't like wheel weights on the inside of a wheel. That's just inconvenient if you want to take them off. Consequently, they have an H part number, so I think that would have been like the 60 in the Oliver 60 parts book, HA 1235B. Anyway, 60 and 70 Oliver, that's where that part number would come from vintage wise. The L705B means that these are the lighter duty centers. The heavier ones are K, because K would be 88, L would have been 66, M would be 77, but I don't think they made an M705 wheel center. I think there were two choices, a K and an L, and this one's the L, so it's the lightest of them all. But what I'm thinking of doing is, with the way it's made, double bevel rims on this style of center is not really very productive for you, because you don't really have infinite choices. You have two choices, one side or the other, because you can't jump it over the bevel to get the rim. Like, I can't get this wheel center in between those two ribs. It's just not going to compute. So basically you could have it on this way, or you can take off the wheel and move the center to the other side, and you could have it on that way on the other side. And I think that's what I'm going to do. That'll be kind of bizarre because the clamps will be on the inside of the wheel, but that will give me the most choice to be able to narrow it up. And I think that's what I want to do with this one, is have it as narrow as can be, and then we'll have to reevaluate our fender situation. But I'm kind of thinking, and you know, you can call me whatever you want to call me, but I'm kind of thinking tractor pulling, you know, low budget tractor pulling. We'll get last place, but we might have fun, and so that's what I'm wondering. But step one is going to be getting this off of the trailer, and then we'll figure out the rest. I don't really know where I'm going to do that thing either, because it's going to end up sitting in the way if I do that. So we might take it to the open field of sadness out in front of the house, just because that's some place that we can work all the way around it easily. Because if I do my wheel flipping thing, like I said, then what I'm going to have to do is have a loader tractor to lift the center so I can spin it around. So yeah, let's back it up there and see if we can get it onto the ground. But boy, it runs sweet. All right, new plan before we get it off the trailer. I think I'm going to try to get these bolts broke loose for this wheel weight, and the one on the other side as well, so that we can get them off of there easily. They do go through, and thank goodness they have a head on them, but they're a square head, so we'll figure that out. But we're going to take these, if I don't fall over, we're going to take these wheel weights off. I think I got all the stuff in the pickup to make that happen. It would probably be a good idea to just find an open end wrench that fits that goodly. So sure, we'll give it a shot of the Paul Bunyan blaster, since that's what people are crazy about. They say that I'm not spraying it enough, even though those are solidly covered with paint and that PV blaster will never ever go in there. But if it makes you feel better, there you go. That'll be these. Kinda. I think that's inch. As I figured, this ain't gonna go great. And it's probably gonna take heat, and that's probably why great. Did it work? All right. Look at that. See how lubed that is from the PV blaster? Not at all. Absolutely zero penetrated in there. And because of the paint on the threads, that helped us none. Now if we can do the other side, the weight should fall down and crush our fender. Let's see if we can make that happen. Then we'll find out that there's no paint on the back side where the weight is. That's my guess, is what I'm gonna find. Yep. Well, it does have paint behind it. I don't know how. Oh boy, now it's gonna be crazy. It's hanging only by imagination. Good enough. There. Original paint. Look at that. Well, that was nice. I think I'd like to break loose the other side, even though I can't take it off yet. But if I had it where I knew it was going to come loose, then you know what I'm saying, we'd be ready to go with the second part of the operation. Oh, what to do? Well, I guess beyond the trailer I can reach around. Nothing like a good reach around to get things accomplished. Oh, well, that was pleasant. Of course, if I didn't sling the wrench away, would it really be a successful adventure? Oh, I tell you, come off of there. There, that looks nice, doesn't it? Oh, perfect. This job may not be working like I had envisioned, and I might just go ahead and get it off the trailer. Worry about it after a while. See, what's causing me issue here is this side we did not flip the wheel center around once we learned that didn't gain us anything. So we just slid this one in, but now it's hitting, I'm hitting here. If my wheel was turned different, it'd probably work. Quite honestly, I can do that after a while when it's up on a jack or something. But we need to get this off of here in case for some reason I can't finish what I'm wanting to do today with it tomorrow I gotta go pick up another tractor to work on. So that's the way it goes. Buddy the dog, what are you doing, pal? Coming to check it out? Well, field of failure, sure. This is as good a place as any, because we can get around to all the sides. You know, I say that as I back it between two things, but in theory, we can get it to all the sides. In a minute, we'll get that loader tractor and we'll pull it off of here, and then we'll see about making things happen. Apparently, I'm going to have two hands to do this, because it ain't working out, Danny. Now, I guess we'll have a little sidebar here, because of comments that I see when people say stuff like, why don't you just work on one project and get that done instead of starting another project? Well, I got news for you, friends. Working on my own stuff doesn't make me any money. It does maybe now a little bit through these videos, but not nearly enough to finish something from start to finish. So what I do is work on something till I either run out of parts or run out of money for that project, and then it gets tabled until either more parts or more money arrive. And that's how I operate. So if I want to take something apart and let it sit for 6 years before I turn the wrench on it again, oh well, it's mine, and that's the way it's going to be. Unless people want to start sending me thousands of dollars and say, start working on this one project, then I'll finish whatever you want me to work on, you know? You have that option if it really bothers you that badly, but until that time happens, you're just going to take what you get. Another reason why is there's sometimes when things show up like this is not going to be a very difficult project to get it driving again. As a matter of fact, I've got all the pieces to do it, and I could probably do it this afternoon if I have time. I don't know that that's going to happen, but so something like this will always move to the head of the line over something like, let's say, the 1955, which needs a major engine overhaul. That is on the back burner until I have time and money to do that, because it doesn't make me any money back, you know. If you can use them in the field, they kind of make you a little bit money back, but basically, yeah, basically I'm making no money on that. Or if a customer shows up with something and wants it worked on, well, then their stuff moves to the head of the line in front of my stuff, and my stuff sits. And since I only have so much free time, a lot of my stuff doesn't get worked on again for a long time. I don't like that, but that's just how it is. You can't just work on your own stuff and never work on anything, or never work, I guess I should say. That's part of the problem with the country, you know. Too many people, they don't want to work. So, yeah. Well, that's a whole nother rabbit hole we don't need to go down. But hopefully that's going to be getting better here in the next few years. Now, my big wonder is how easy is it going to come out of there, because it is wedged in there. We measured at the beginning of that last video with it. I think I measured like 80.5, and we got her narrowed up to like 82, and we wedged it on anyway, and it still made it. Luckily, the fenders aren't anything to write home about, and they're kind of bent anyway, and that helped us because they kind of flexed a little bit, and that's how she went. Also, I'm getting down to where I just about have to start thinking about maybe putting a floor on this trailer, because she's getting less all the time. Matter of fact, yesterday I laid a board over this when I was out there, because I got to looking at that and I thought, you know, that piece is bounced out, and if the back wheel landed in there, it would probably be hard to pull it up out of that little hole, you know. It wouldn't go all the way through, obviously, but I don't think that little tractor he was using would have been able to overcome the extra divot, you know, that it could have found itself in. But really, it should be riding on the outside. I don't know, just rambling. I even have thoughts to just pull it backwards really fast and not even set the ramps out, you know. It'll hit the ground, don't worry. Gravity helps you unload things. But you know, it's when you're loading it that gravity's a problem. All right, ramps are kind of down. Now we might as well hook up our chain. And then we'll go get the tractor and we'll give her a tug. And then we'll pull this tractor off after we're done tugging it. But you know what I'm saying? Oh boy. The ground is still pretty solid, but it won't be for much longer. It's already starting to melt. And then we'll have a muddy mess. So that's always fun too. All right, John Deere. Ready to pull another green one off the trailer? Should be used to it by now, we've done it so much. Oh, now, come on. Don't act up. This is so nice being able to drive this without my head hitting the roof. That's the way it was with the other seat. You hit a bump, you're gonna whack your head. We'll see if I can pull it backwards like this. It's easier to watch what's going on. We may not have enough traction though. Now, several things could happen here. But the good news is they all end up with it on the ground. So, yeah. Well, that's what I figured. Do I have the brakes locked? I might. I forgot about that. That's one thing about it. It has good brakes. Come on. Giddy up, horsey. Giddy up. It's gonna hit the land all, I bet. Whoa, no. There we go. Self-unhooking. Excellent. Now, I shouldn't have done that. I should have pulled it out here where I could get to it. So I guess I'll pull it out here so I can get to both sides. Or I could do one side right there. I don't care. Let's do that. Let's do one side right there and minimize the time I have to jump on and off of the tractor. So what we'll do, we'll jack it up. We'll take the wheel off of the center, let it fall in. We'll hook a chain around the center, take the center off, spin it around, and put the wheel back on the right way, because it'll be backwards. But then the center will be outside, the wheel will be inside, and most of our back spacing should be this way, and that will give us the most bang for our adjustability buck, I guess you would say. That way we can have it as narrow as possible. And you might say, why? Well, if you do go tractor pulling, it's my understanding that it's better to have the wheels as narrow as you can. But there's a lot of stuff I got to learn about that because I have no idea. I've looked at the rules for years and I don't really understand which set of rules they follow in the National Antique Tractor Pull thing. I'll have to call the guy who does it here locally and see what rules are you have to follow, but I'm pretty sure that no matter what, you have to have fenders on it now. Used to, you didn't have to do that, but I'm pretty sure you have to have a set of fenders on it, and you have to have a seat that has a high back. So it has to be like a rigid seat with a back on it, which is no problem. We can slide this off of here to do that. I'd like to do as much as I can without really modifying this much, where if I decide this is stupid, I could put it back. But yeah, I gotta learn the rules, and so if we narrow up the wheels a bunch, then that means we're gonna have to put spacers in our fenders so that they're, yeah, because they usually bolt to this side. So But we'll figure that out later. Right now, I just want to get the wheels somewhat organized, because right now everything's backwards and not right. So yeah. All right. Sure, we're in the most inconvenient spot possible for handyman jacking. These work great for this, as long as you're not afraid of it falling over and killing you. So basically, an everyday, just a normal day with the handyman jacks. But they do really work good for this. And I've got a big jack stand I usually put under there, which I should probably, if I want to use that, I should probably go in all the way here. Now this is the handyman jack we bought at that auction in town, where we got that Heston hay trailer. And it's not just exactly a number one as far as using. There. All right. Come on, Jack. Are you up? That's set up a little too high, which surprises me, because that's really this jack's only job in the last years has been to do this. It might be because of the I'll see about getting that turned down maybe, and then we'll continue our journey. Other items of interest on the agenda are get a new battery for you, because you're down to 13%. Put a belt on, because apparently I forgot to do that. It's kind of inconvenient when you got to keep pulling up your riches all the time. So yeah, I'll bring you back when I get all that stuff accomplished. All right, we're back and we're better. I don't know what has happened to me recently, but apparently I've reached the optimum blend of old man and obesity, because I'm now wearing suspenders and I love it. I don't know how I avoided that all these years. Everybody was onto something, you know, all those old guys you see wearing them. Yeah, and I might just go all the way and switch to bib overalls. I don't know, but these have changed my life. So sure. But here we have this house jack, which this is something I've had for years and years and years, and this has always been its job. Anytime I want to take the wheels off of one of these tractors, that's my go-to thing, or paint them or whatever I got to do. That is the thing to do it, because it holds them solid, you see. A lot more solid than the old handyman jack would, but it's under there for moral support, but all the weight's on that. So now what we're going to do is not difficult, just time consuming. We did it once yesterday, so I know it can be done, and I wish that I had been using most of my brain power, and I should have just had him get his boom pole, and we should have just done this whole operation out there when I had his help, because it would have probably been easier. But that's not how we roll. So we're going to get started taking all the clamps loose. Then we'll set this rim inside here, because it can't leave the way it is right now. And then once we do that, we will turn it around so the tread's facing the right way. We'll hook the loader to the wheel center, we'll spin it around, bolt it back on, and then bolt the wheel back on, and life will be grand. All right. It's all so nice to do things twice, you know? Who doesn't love a good do-over? That one's not going to come loose yet. I mean, they're wedges, so sometimes they're stuck. They're literally wedged. That one did not come off like I wanted. Did our other clamp come loose? It was too tight a minute ago. Yes. Now, this should go in just fine. Amazing how that works in life. But that's out of our way, and it can't hurt us anymore. Now we're going to hook the chain up to this, unbolt it, spin it around, and then we're going to flip this around before we put that back on so that the tread's the right way. Then we should be able to do what I'm thinking. Oh, how easy a process was this, you know? This probably won't go through there, will it? It'd be real cool if it did. Look at that. It's a miracle. Now we need the bigger socket. What were they? 7/8, I think. To a dangerously precarious height. We'll turn this around. Dang. Sometimes all you gotta do is be stupid. Things work out. Some of these should line up. Let's take that chain loose. Did we bend that bolt? That'd be cool if we did. So we made it not usable. That'd be neat. Sweet. Too lazy for safety. Let's just raise that loader up above our head. But we're on the downhill slide here, see? And then all we got to do is start over and do it to the other one. Almost. Almost. That's going to be super narrow. We're going to have to slide our hubs out again. But I'm fighting something here now. And that is, you'll see in a minute, I should say. Let's put a bolt in, and a wedge, and try to hang it We got to get that lug in the thing we need it in. And I'll explain that in a minute if you're not sure why. There. Let's get some more in. We may try to, well, we can leave it like that. That is pretty cool, narrow like. I'll get you a better camera angle in a second, but what I was talking about is that lug down there. You got to get it in that little pocket. And you might ask yourself, why for is that thing there? Well, it's there because if you didn't have it and you were pulling something heavy, the center could actually spin in the rim. So that lug keeps it locked to the center. And so, yeah. Yeah, double bevel rims do not work very good on this kind of tractor. I'll tell you, on this style rim center, I should say. It doesn't get you what you think it's going to get you. You would think it would get you more adjustment, but it doesn't, because you can't. We'll get these all started and then we'll clinch her down. Let's go to the opposite side. Oh yeah. All right. So we got one. Looks kind of bizarre. I don't think I've ever seen one with the rim on the inside of the center like that way, but it works. Super narrow. So we'll have to do the other side to match, and then if we proceed with this project, we'll have to make us something to set our fenders way in. But I don't know if we'll do that or not. But I figured since we were going to have to change these anyway, I might as well put them in narrow. It's easier to store too that way. But yeah, I just need to learn more of the rules. I've kind of looked at it for years, but I don't really know what I all have to do. Ideally, you'd have pressed steel wheels so you could control more of your weight. But those are the lightest ones you can get. So it might be about the same as like having one wheel weight in there or so, or two with it like this. So, and then of course the front is too heavy with those heavy duty hubs, which that could be changed if it had to be, but maybe that's what I want. I want to just play without a lot of expense, you know? So I might not be able to pull around here. I might have to find a tractor pull somewhere that'll just let you have at it. But I don't know. I mean, I think we got us something here. We just need to continue on our way and make it happen. So I guess we'll take this one off and I can get that wheel weight off. Probably won't do that on camera. There's no need to watch me beat a dead horse twice. As much as I love to beat a dead horse, once is enough on camera. But sure, you know, we got us something. We can, when this is all narrowed up, it'll be super easy to find a hole to put it away, because look at all the space you have for activities here, you know, where your wheel would normally be. So yeah, you know, you see how much room you'd have to take up to make that work. The rules also say, from what I read, that the fender has to be able to support the driver's weight. And I'm not sure why they're figuring that is. Like if you roll over and you lay against it, or I don't really understand so many things in life. But this could definitely be done with little to no modification. I mean, piece of box tubing in there probably, and some long bolts. We could make her happen. But that is neither here nor there. Like I said, I'm just playing we still need to get it to where it'll drive and figure out what we want to do. Which, while we're in there, do we go ahead and we put the belt pulley delete on it, take that off, and change that, because we got to be in there anyway to get that shaft out. That would be the time to do it instead of doing it twice, you know. But we'll see. I should be able to get the clutch and all that out of this without pulling the engine or much of anything. There's enough room in there to have a square dance, so you should be able to drop it away and make that happen. But yeah, I think we're gonna leave this one here because I'm accomplishing nothing, just nonsense. So until next time, that's where it sits. All right, got that done. Let's see what we got now. Narrowed up. All right, 69 inches. So yeah, there we go. So we might be our first step along the way of the Sadness Acres pulling team, you know. We get this and that 88 going. We're gonna have to come up with some catchy names for them, you know, like to have, like, I don't know. Oh, okay, so around here we have these things like we call the knobs, you know. It's like really steep hills and elevation and things. We've got Floyd's knobs and the Clear Spring knobs, things like that. So picture 2 twin peaks and a turkey at the top letting off its sound, and we could call it the knob gobbler, but something like that, you know, catchy. But whatever. I guess I could get my buddy Bruce to get his Super Kermit panels off the wall. He used to tractor pull, but I think he had an 88, so they wouldn't, yeah. But anyway, you know, just fun is what it is. I don't know that we're ever gonna actually do this, but we'll get it to where it moves and then we'll assess the situation. All it is time. I got nothing in it right now except for 50 bucks, you know, and I'll have more in it whenever we work on Dirk's tractor. But there could be a lot of fun to be had with this. I don't know. And I got plenty weights to swing it, that's for sure. I just got to learn a lot of the rules and figure out how much money I want to lose. And that'll determine how far we go on this. And it may not be this year, but we got the tractor saved. We'll get it where it moves and we'll figure something out, you know. But this is probably a good place to stop. I know I said that before, but figured you'd want to see it back on all fours the way it's, yeah. Look at how narrow that little thing is right there. Sure enough. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.